All right. We're here with another World Team League match. It's a best of 7. And surprise, surprise, there's a 7-foot-tall Dutchman in the top right side of the map. Coming out first for the Shopify Rebellion. He's been on a tear in the last few months. It is Harstem, known for his YouTube videos and his flaming lips. That is his actual nickname in the Chinese scene is Flaming Lips. He has just an attractive set of lips, I guess. And they were like, hey, that's a physical attribute. We're going to call him Flaming Lips because he's awesome and he's won tournaments in our country and we love him for it. Harstem in the top right. SERRAL, of course, the greatest player of all time in the bottom left for Basilisk. SERRAL going for the hatchery first. A massive favorite in this match. But I'd say this is good for Shopify Rebellion. A lot of people will be like, well, how is it good? I mean, how's Harstem going to win? Guys, if Harstem can take a map, that's amazing. Like, that's so good for his team because, no offense to Harstem, probably can... Actually, I was going to say he's the weakest player. I don't think he's the weakest player for Shopify Rebellion. That's not fair at all. He's definitely higher ranked than Scarlett right now. Depending on the matchup, though, I think it depends who has better shots. Anyway, point being, it's not a... If you've got BYUN against SERRAL, I think that's really bad for Shopify Rebellion because BYUN's your ace. He's your best player on Shopify Rebellion. And if he goes up against SERRAL, he still has an incredibly low chance of winning because of just the way SERRAL and BYUN match up. But you're kind of wasting your best player on a bad matchup, right? So that would be the worst case. Whereas this way, you've still got, you know, you've got your Scarletts, you've got your BYUNs. They can match up against Reynor, ShowTime, or Trigger. I'm not sure who they'll be bringing out in this match, and we can kind of see how it goes. I did notice we didn't see much of Trigger in the World Team League recently, by the way, guys. Do you guys know if they're not going to field him at all? Or maybe I'm not sure if they fielded him in this match. I try not to look ahead at the matches and try to keep myself as spoiler-free of the results as possible. But yeah, this is one I've been waiting on for a little while because I saw there was obviously Basilisk against Shopify Rebellion. You've got fan favorite team in Shopify Rebellion. One of the greatest teams with SERRAL and Reynor, of course, on Basilisk and ShowTime now looking fantastic. So, Big, are you saying Harstem's a throwaway? I think almost anyone playing SERRAL is a throwaway, and you would rather it not be your best player who gets used as a throwaway. Yeah, pretty much. That's what I'm saying. This is how I analyze WTL every time because I've been team captain in Caster's Civil War in different team leagues before where I pick the players and stuff, and all I am looking for in those picks is for my worst player to play their best player. That's like the best win. That's the winning situation. I'm like, you're my sacrificial lamb. If you take a map, you're doing better than we expect. And as long as our other two players win, we win the thing, you know? It's depending on the matchup. It depends. It depends, like, obviously on the individual players, but that's like a very common tactic that you'll look for is I am going to try to guess which map you'll put your best player out on, and I'll put my worst player on it. If you pick that correctly, it's great. Now, Zergling gets in. Classic SERRAL scouting, guys. Overlord pokes in, sees a lot of stuff, doesn't quite die. Zergling gets in, sees that there was only 2 on each gas, and it is going to be a very crisp glaive adept timing. But it's with no robo. And that's what's important. Because SERRAL, he's thinking, okay, there could be a glaive adept timing. If there's a prism, it's very scary, but it's not. This is an adept timing into the front third. Now, if you guys don't know, Crimson Court's considered a pretty good map for Zerg because this purple gas base can help them and this ramp helps defend quite easily. Now, I'm going to make a very simple argument, and that is that Protoss players taking this base are demented. Max does this every game. Harstem's doing it. I think it's the dumbest thing I've ever seen. I think it is so easy for Zerg to queen walk with some Ravagers across and kill this base. I mean, the ramp is good, but is it that good? Maybe if you're using force fields. Is this a Bane bust, by the way, for SERRAL, or is this just defensive Ling Bane? Because committing so hard off just 38, I think he's going to go for the aggression. Oh, runs forward. Hey, a couple of adepts. Already some nice snipes here. Robo does finally come down here for Harstem. I don't know. Having my base that close to Zerg feels terrible, guys. Massling on the way. He's going for it. Harstem sees no drones on that base. Cancel the shade. Run away. Run away. Run away. If you see no drones on their third, you know you're ahead on economy right now. And honestly, get the heck out of Dodge. Keep warping in. Get a battery up on the third, which he's already doing. He's going to try and shade backwards. Banelings are morphing. 7 Banelings making SERRAL going all in right now. It's a pretty clever play for SERRAL. You know, this is the thing. You're not really expecting to get all in when you're playing the best player in the world. You think, he'll play safe. He'll just beat me in the long game. But the true greatest players from the best players is often to mix it up. Banelings and Zerglings coming forward. Adepts. Oh, no, don't get surrounded. Oh, the Banelings are getting some juicy hits. Oh, no. I think he could have spread those Adepts just a little bit better. But now that battery's going to get blown up. Oh, great force. But that's a clutch field. Oh, that's a clutch field. That is so much healing going down. He's just got no firepower behind it. Only a few adepts. But I think it's enough to hold. Maybe. Great adept positioning. I love the shuffle on the left side. Oh, no, get the probes out. Get the probes out. Just fight with the storm. Oh, no. Ow, ow, ow. Probes fighting banelings. Needs to warp in a few more adepts. We've still got 3 gates. 3 more adept warp-ins here could be massive. He warped in the adepts on the right side. 9 probes go down. Harstem holds. Harstem holds. He's fine. I think he's fine. The queens could walk here as well, though. Oh, man. SERRAL. He killed a few more probes than I think he necessarily needed to. Harstem actually defends really well. He's up 6 workers. As long as he keeps a unit in his wall, gets these more immortals to the front, he's building more immortals, though. They're not the most important unit. It's more important for him to non-stop warp in adepts. And if he makes another battery in the back, he'll be great. I love this sentry. The force field was so clutch before. Another one of those could be huge. It's a Lingbane all-in, dude. If Harstem takes this map, this is going to be massive. Don't get surrounded. Get out, get out, get out. Pull back, pull back, pull back. Get back to the mineral line. Okay, more units pulling into the mineral line. He doesn't have anything in his wall off right now. Thankfully, SERRAL's not poking the wall. Oh my god, SERRAL could run in right now, but the banelings got in. He force fielded the right side, which meant the banelings just walked right in. Oh, he should have force fielded the left side. Should have saved it. Oh, there's too much lings. Too many lings coming in right now. The adepts and new immortals coming in, but immortals are incredibly expensive, and they're just not the unit you want against this. He actually, I think maybe if he chronoed his gateways and non-stop warped in adepts, and built that backup battery I was talking about behind the mineral line, I think that would have been huge. A second sentry also would have been huge there. But SERRAL, it's such a surprisingly doggedly all-in strategy. And this is often what happens when you know your opponent's better than you. In Harstem's mind, I can almost guarantee this. I'll probably message him and ask, but you guys can ask if you want. You're probably thinking, oh, okay, I barely held on, but it's SERRAL. He's probably already got the purple gas mining. He's probably on 50 drones. You know, you're thinking this. And then just another wave of all-in comes. And it's like, it's almost a surprisingly simple strategy. And sometimes you just don't expect the next wave to hit quite so hard. And SERRAL was actually kind of desperate with this attack. But he finds the damage, gets the win. Great way to start the series. All right, guys. Harstem in the bottom left of Dynasty, a map that is fantastic for Protoss. SERRAL, what are you doing? 15-15 on the gold on the outside. He's going for the purple gas and the gold minerals. No effing way. SERRAL. I don't know, man. I feel like you're favored enough. Just take the normal expand, bro. This is risky. The funny thing is, if Harstem's not mentally prepared for this, he could struggle. He also took the very safe high ground expand. If he took the wall off here into gold base, it would be even better. To be fair, I still feel like this favors Protoss, but I don't know. The purple gas is actually huge because notice he hasn't taken gas yet. I thought he would take the gas ahead of time and start mining it with 3 workers here straight away, and then he'd go link speed off it. But I think since he hasn't taken gas, we're probably going to see him drop it. Okay, yeah, drop it now. But I think he's going to go maybe 6 queen, at least 4. He definitely goes instantly for 4 queens. Already has the Overlord building. Now, Harstem's scouting is non-existent right now. That's fine. Stargate. No, Twilight. Okay, so Harstem has made a decision. This is an executive decision, and this is actually amazing, because if you guys struggle in PvZ, and what do I normally see in the mid-leagues? People struggle against Zerg, they go, and then I look at how they're playing, and they always open Oracle. And I'm like, guys, you know if the Queen's just sitting there, like it's going to defend your Oracle. Like you can get damage if you're a master of micro, but it's going to get damage. And I always tell people, look, if you're a noob, just do Glaive Adept or Charge Lot opening. Do something that has some actual oomph where you can A-move some units, kill a ton of stuff if they're not ready for it, and force a big response. Because if you play Oracles, it relies on you having really good multitasking and micro. And especially if you're playing the greatest player of all time who's incredible at moving his queens and drones to respond, you're just not going to find damage with your Oracles. And Harstem's basically said, yeah, look, this is a more reliable way for me to... Oh, he's going to go Blink all in. Wait, what? Oh, sorry, I thought that was a second Stalker. Okay, so just 1 Stalker to deny Overlord into 3 Gate Glaives. He's doing the same build again. Cool, 3 Gate Glaives. Now that purple gas, he mined 100 gas and then pulled off it. 3rd base is going down. Link speed's on the way. The lack of double adept pressure concerns me, guys. I feel like to play this map and not immediately open by double chronoing adepts is not good. Because I think you should immediately be going towards here, shading up, and trying to get over to this area and pick off drones and just make it really awkward because it's hard for Lings to defend. You know, the main, the inside of the gold, the outside of the gold. It just makes it stressful. Force a few more Lings would have been nice. So Harstem playing pretty passive though, but he's up 5 workers. His gold base is absolutely flowing. And he's got a Dark Shrine behind it. Ooh, hello. We're going to try and punch up with the invisible men, guys. You guys know what scene? So I've been listening to Song of Ice and Fire. Speaking of punching up, that's what just made this pop into my head. The one scene I wish they put in the show, which I don't think they did, though I watched it so many years ago that I didn't. I don't remember. It's when Tyrion's in his first battle, right, with the like barbarian dudes like Shagger and stuff, and then he's kind of got like a knight who's trying to like capture him, and he's like, "Yield, you silly man!" And Tyrion just keeps like ducking around his horse and like running around because he's small. And then he headbutts the horse in the belly with the spike on his helmet to kill it. And I just said punching up. That's what Harstem needs to do right now. An unrealistic kill move. He needs to use the spike on his helmet to headbutt the belly of SERRAL's horse, unhorsing him and getting him crushed underneath his own horse. Did they do that in the show? Because I feel like they didn't do that in the show, because that's impossible to do in the show, because it's so ridiculous and unrealistic. But anyways, Adepts did shade backwards. He's going to pull back. 24 links for 4 Adepts is actually a fantastic trade. This is a really good start. Guys, SERRAL's all in. SERRAL is all in on Ravager Link. SERRAL's all inning him again. SERRAL's showing zero respect, and Harstem has no idea. He has no idea. He's got to get out of there. Wait, DTs could save him. Lairs just started. DTs should win this game, right? If he just warps in more DTs at home, he could have this, but he doesn't realize that this army's actually going from shade away, shade away, shade away. Oh no, he shaded a bit late. He got surrounded. Oh, the biles are going to hit. Oh, the Adepts are going down. Okay, DT runs in the left. There is a Spore Crawler. Oh, there's Spore Crawlers on every base. Okay, run into the main. Go for the lair, If he gets the lair, it's good. Bile takes out 2 probes, but you know what? He's got DTs at home. Harstem's in an amazing position. Harstem's up 10 workers right now. DTs are in the main base. Oh, he's going to deny a lot of mining. SERRAL's being quick with the drone pool, but he hasn't run them far enough. If these DTs have any time actually hitting things, they'll get massive damage, but the spores are on top. DTs have to pull to the left side, and he's just not getting any direct damage. SERRAL scrambles very well, starts redroning, but Harstem is ahead. Losing those Adepts was a bummer. DT does fight. Oh no, his DTs both went back in and derped there, guys. Just recall it, bro. Okay, let's get another DT here. Oh, ring around the rosy, pocket full of invisible man trying to literally slice your butt off with a scythe. Guys, did you know scythes are used historically for harvesting wheat and different crops? This guy is a farmer of Ravager butts. If you talk to this Dark Templar, he's like, I'm just an honest, humble man. I just make an honest living. And I'm like, oh, what do you work? He's like, I'm a farmer. And what crops do you raise? He goes, Ravager assholes. And you're like, what? That's disgusting and also weird. Why are you farming Ravager butts? That's crazy. He's like, there's a lot of protein, man. There's a lot of protein. Anyways, DT's going to run to that side. The Lings are going to get this around. Very nicely done there. Sorry for the colorful commentary, guys. We'll get back to talking about the gameplay here. Harstem just gets me excited. Whenever Harstem's playing, you know, he's been a good mate over the years. He's a very good player, and he's actually ahead against SERRAL. I just get excited and get a bit giddy. These DTs not doing damage, though. SERRAL has just been way too quick at pulling his drones. Good recall. Oh, dude, I thought that DT was going to survive. Okay, only 1 DT out of the 2 survived. Thought he'd survive with more than that. Looks like we do have... Man, the Ravager harass. This is the same Ravager that survived? Is it? No way. No way. Dude, that Ravager is being such a pain in the butt. Harstem's like, can you leave now? Charge almost here. Oh, force field not enough to trap many of those Zerglings. Now, SERRAL's got back to 62 drones. So SERRAL now has what I would call an okay mid-game economy. But Harstem, if his 4th base gets up, he's on 72 probes. Problem Harstem has, no blink. No blink and no immortals. No blink and no immortals means his army is mostly Zealot Archon. It's a very like meaty, I need to have the numbers advantage army. And if you look at the numbers, SERRAL recognizes that. He's making nothing but Roach Ravager Zergling, +1 range, Tunneling Claws Burrow. SERRAL is realizing my win condition is having a surprising number of units. Harstem's been ahead of SERRAL consistently in this series, but then SERRAL just masses, overcommits on army, and then Harstem kind of loses the fight really badly. And that's exactly what's trying to happen again. Zealots run in from both sides. They both get defended. Harstem's got to be careful not to bleed out too many Zealots. He's already down 30 army supply. He's got a second Robo on the way. He's starting Immortal production, but he loses a lot of Zealots effectively for free. Zealots in the top do escape. He's going to go for a Zealot drop now. SERRAL now starts 7 workers. I guarantee you, if we were watching SERRAL's stream, he would have that gritted teeth expression right now where he's like, this is not going well for me. You know, he does not feel good on this economy, but we can see his army supply is massive. He can deny the gold mining. Remember, those gold minerals will get opened up, by the way. There's 11 minerals left on that patch. Oh no, Harstem's like, hello, good sir. Would you like an entrance to my base? The probes let him in. Oh no. Zealot drops on the other side. He's doing a big Zealot warp in. I like the Zealot warp in. The queens will take care of him though. That prism's going to fall. Zealots will get cleaned up eventually by the Roachling rally. Meanwhile, Harstem scrambles over here. 7 probes do go down. Looks like he's pushing him back. Zealot Archon actually comes in from that side. Bile's trying to land. The Archon Zealot can do pretty well versus the Ravagers. Harstem, if he can clean this up, that'd be amazing. Roach is here. Is there an observer on this map? No, there is not. He does see the tunneling claws, which is really good for Harstem. You don't want to lose these Archons, though. The Roach is actually doing pretty well. Harstem doesn't seem to quite have the Zealot reinforced to do this. He spent all of his Zealots on the other side of the map, and SERRAL... Who needs an economy advantage, guys? That thing we used to love in ZVP. SERRAL seemed to clue onto something specifically about fighting Harstem. Harstem was playing a style where he would do sharp pressure into greed. Sharp pressure into greed. And SERRAL realized, if I just keep doubling down on army, I will get ahead to the next step. So I think he kind of clued onto the fact that Harstem's default mode is to try and get a bit further ahead on the next step. And don't get me wrong, he was ahead economically, like probe count-wise and stuff. He was doing really well before those 12 workers went down. Problem, Zealot Archon. He didn't really have the upgrades. Remember, he didn't have Blink, so he didn't have that like super flexible, efficient army where you start off with a base of Blink Stalkers. And he wasn't into the Immortals yet. He only had a single Immortal had just popped out. So he just didn't quite have the super efficient army, and I think SERRAL played super intelligently, where if SERRAL was just single-minded about rebuilding economy, he would have really struggled with the Zealot run-bys, and Harstem would have been able to get up into double Immortal Storm. This was really smart play by SERRAL. All right. Let's go into the next game. We've got BYUN in the top right side of the map, up against ShowTime in the bottom left now. It is the World Team League. Pig, why is the best of 7? What's going on? Remember, 2 games between the players. 2 games between those two, 2 games between these two, which means the third one should be 2 games between Scarlett and Reynor, I would imagine. Unless there is an unexpected player popping in for either team. I guess it could be like Scarlett Trigger, potentially. So yeah, pretty unlikely, though. It's Trigger would probably sub in for ShowTime, I would imagine, is the more likely substitution. Either way, this is a good match for BYUN. If BYUN can get the 2-0 on ShowTime, then Scarlett just needs to take 1 map off Reynor, and you've got yourself the ace match, the revival, where you guys get to probably lose to SERRAL anyway, but at least you force him out. And who knows? SERRAL's schedule. He's only able to play these matches when he's back at home, not at the military base. So he's, maybe he's not available for the ace match. Maybe they have to send out Reynor. I think BYUN versus Reynor is a more even match than BYUN SERRAL's a pretty hard one. But anyways, BYUN versus ShowTime's an interesting matchup because BYUN is a king of this matchup. The problem I fear for him is that ShowTime is rock solid at just wrecking PvT openings. So I want to see BYUN channel his inner Maru, bring out a very sneaky timing attack here or there, throw ShowTime off balance, catch him off guard. The other thing I want to focus on is Liberators. If we get to the later stage, go range Liberators. We've seen recently a bunch of big series between like ShowTime and like Gumiho, where basically ShowTime massively out-traded Gumiho. Was it Gumiho he was out-trading? I think it was Gumiho. He's done it to a bunch of Terrans recently, very high-level Terrans, where ShowTime has just been smashing them in efficiency, like destroying Terrans in efficiency until they get range libs. And then he falls off a drastic cliff in terms of his efficiency with his army. So that's actually what you kind of want to go for in the later stages. If you're kind of a little behind, you want to make a comeback, it's getting forced to the late game. Range libs are very powerful against him. Twilight Council goes down for ShowTime, and BYUN's going to go, third command center. Wow. That can be very effective. I've been a big hater on this build because on Site Delta, BYUN and Maru do this almost every game. And it's terribly predictable. But Alcyon, they don't do it very much. So I actually quite like this build when it's a surprise. I think this build as a surprise build, 3rd CC into 3 racks, is really nice. But you just have to be a little bit kind of hoping that they'd go for a very late Robo and they don't go for a Stargate, which is the right case. Check it out. This is going to be about a 3:35 Robo on the natural, go down sometime in the next 15 seconds. And that means the Observer doesn't scout you till close to 5 minutes, which is too late to really take advantage of this fast 3rd command center. Engineering Bay goes down before the factory. Wants to go for those +1 upgrades. Now, I don't mind this opening actually going for a big 1-1 timing. I think it can be super effective because you can get +1 attack, then +1 armor off this eBay. Start building up your medevac count, and you could even completely skip Vikings and just do a big split push. Doom drop the main, attack the 3rd at the same time. You know, split the Protoss army up, especially once he's into Colossus, so you're not fighting them all in one angle where the splash damage stacks up. Trying to get lots of skirmishes going on and that sort of stuff can really pay dividends. Factory comes down, as well as a second tech lab, as Stim and +1 are on the way. BYUN not missing a beat on his SCV production, 3 at a time coming down, as his second gas does start fully mining. Observer on the way, third gas, and of course that third Nexus was very quick. I mean, the thing about ShowTime is, does he even care about third command center? He's so greedy with his opening just as standard that I don't know if he matters. I don't know if it really matters. Like, it's not like it puts BYUN ahead, I guess is what I should say. A lot of Protoss players play a bit more conservatively than ShowTime on the economy, but ShowTime is just so slow. He's like 2 Adepts, 2 Stalkers there, 3 Stalkers here. Rock bloody solid, mate.
SCV ready.
Starport does go down.
Ready.
So one thing we're missing right now is that reactor. BYUN's making a little mistake here, guys. He didn't have the gas before, and he's forgotten that reactor. There we go. That's going to delay the medevacs just a little bit. Not a huge deal, but these styles where you've already got so many Marines, Marauders starting to pump out, you don't want any delays on that. I love that the Reapers stayed alive this whole time. And the grenade actually gets the probe. If ShowTime was super clutch, he could have pulled that probe to the right and dodged that. That would have been cool. Now, the Observer does see the command center, sees exactly what's happening. He knows the starport timing, so ShowTime knows what's going on. Let's go to ShowTime's vision. Now that he has that view, he's going to go for a third gateway. He's already got the Forge and the Robo about to finish. Blinker's, of course, been done for a while. What I like about ShowTime's play is he's delaying charge. The only thing is delaying charge, because you know there's no scary push yet, is good. Don't forget it, though. You still want to start it sometime in the next 30 seconds to a minute at the latest, because sometimes you end up delaying it so long, you kind of just forget that you delayed charge, and you end up like, I'm probing my 4th base. I'm making double Robo Disruptor, and then the fight starts and all your Zealots start walking towards the opponent, and you're like, oh no. 5 more gateways are building, so we're going to go up to 7 gateways. A bunch of units do go down. +1's on the way. Now, we've got a Colossus building right now. It's almost finished. Blink away. Good blink back. Good blink back. Defending with bare minimal. Still no charge. 8th gateway goes down. He clicked his Twilight, but he didn't actually start the upgrade. ShowTime's thinking about starting a 4th. You can see the pressure that BYUN's putting on here. Let's go back to everyone's vision. 4th Nexus pre-charge. Brave play as more sentries and stalkers warp in, which is fantastic. Double drop tries to go to the left. Dude, those stalkers hunting for that was huge. But now ShowTime's lost track of that drop. So those stalkers are kind of like, where'd you go? Where are you? And you can see BYUN here trying to stay hard to pin down. I wouldn't mind an Observer sneaking in after this Colossus. Because if this Observer gets scanned, yeah. Please, squeeze an Observer in ShowTime. You have to. You have to. If you lose map vision, it's worth it, man. Observers only take 18 seconds to build. With a chrono boost, that's like 9 seconds. It's super worth squeezing an Observer in here. He's using hallucination. Robo's idling right now. I think he's going to wait. He's just going to go 3rd Colossus. 4th Nexus is up. Charge is on the way. ShowTime's doing a really good job in managing his defense. Now, on the other side, Armory and 2nd Engineering Bay and Ghost Academy have both come in, but no 4th CC. So ShowTime is up on 4 base. BYUN is not starting a 4th. BYUN is focused on finding damage in the here and now. Unfortunately, remember that delay on the medevacs I talked about earlier, guys? He's only on 4 medevacs. It's not a lot. Brave attack for BYUN. And when I say brave, I mean a bit crazy. Yeah, attacks both sides. ShowTime's army splits perfect. 4th command center goes down on location. So BYUN's realizing, look, you're ShowTime. You're very turtle up. All right, I can't quite kill you, but I've got a good work account. I haven't thrown too much army away. It's fine for now. And then he regroups as well. Come on, man. Observers have got to take priority over the Prism. Unless he's dedicated to just attacking with his 3 Colossus, which I think is a bad move. I feel like Observers have to be the play here, but... Oh, the ShowTime Colossus gets sniped. That was a crazy Marauder move for BYUN. Just runs forward with 8 Marauders, dives into the Zealots and the Cannons, and just gets the Colossus snipe. I think that's worth it pretty much always. The Colossus just takes so long to build. We've already seen that Robo production time is at a premium. 2nd Robo goes down. He's already on 4 bases, 4 gases still. So you know what? Not a bad play for ShowTime as the Disruptor production does start, but losing one of those 3 Colossus incredibly costly. BYUN's army rotating. ShowTime's nearby though. His whole army is here. 1 Stalker goes down, make it 2. Ooh, big Colossus shot in the middle of the Marines though. Stalkers are brave enough to blink after that. BYUN's got to be careful because I think ShowTime could just straight up chase that. He just doesn't want to get pulled too far out of position, so he does back off momentarily. Adept goes down, not an important unit anymore. 2-2 upgrades halfway done for Terran. 2-1 halfway done for Protoss. So the upgrade's slightly ahead for Terran. 4th base is now up for him as well as he goes to 8 barracks. Now, this is a point in the game where, especially with the efficiency of ShowTime being lower than BYUN's, I'm okay with him going 8 racks. But if this was like Gumiho and some of the other guys who've been losing all these big battles every time they face ShowTime, I would argue they should go for the second starport and the fusion core before going for those 3 barracks and actually go straight to 8 gases. In this case, though, this is just going to be Viking 2 starport. No fusion core, no medevac energy upgrade, no lib range. ShowTime's getting the 5th base. He's also getting that gateway count. So he's going to go up to 12 gateways. We know he likes to go to 24, 26 gates. BYUN goes hunting for the prism at the perfect time. 300 IQ game sense, poor execution. He didn't quite go to the edge of the map. ShowTime sneaks past it. So this is really bad because now BYUN has the illusion of there's no way you could get a prism in my base right now. Luckily for him, these last barracks weren't rallied, so he does have a few marauders at home. And the DT drop comes in. DT Zealot. The DT actually dies straight away. He's going to drop a DT in the natural as well. He does get EMP'd, but just going to be scanned down pretty quickly. This does pull back BYUN's army. So BYUN's 2-2 timing is disappearing right here. +2 armor starts up for ShowTime. He has a DT hidden in the main, which BYUN doesn't notice. Oh, that's actually huge. That DT there, you wait 15 seconds, send that back into the mineral line when he's not looking. The barracks rally point is at home right now, though. Viking hunting down the prism. I love that he's being so mature about this and safe as BYUN. Disruptor shot gets itself a marine. Nothing huge to start. Other disruptor shot goes out, but it dies before it can connect. BYUN's already almost taken out one of the Colossus. It goes down. Second Colossus, though, will survive as the Sentry Stalker overwhelms. Zealots overwhelming the Bio there as well. Back at home, DT goes in, starts killing reactors. Zealots jumping on top. The Bio army has to pick up. ShowTime lost a lot of supply there. He's down 2,000 resources in the units lost. One reactor dies on the starport. The starport says, no worries. Let's just take the factory's reactor. The DT has been F2'd home, guys. ShowTime tries to correct it, runs to the left side. He's going to try and hide that bad boy one more time. BYUN having to use a lot of scans, a lot of EMPs, a lot of APM to do this. Funnily enough, this is actually going to notify BYUN of these idle SCVs that he's forgotten about behind the natural. Or will it? Does attack on the right side. 5th base of ShowTime's in trouble. 3 more gateways coming down for ShowTime. So he's going to go up from 12 to 15 gateways. 75 workers. BYUN's on 83 extra command center building there. Barracks are pumping. Fusion cores finally on the way, as well as that +2 ship weapons. Now, I guess I don't talk about it as much anymore. We should probably bring it up. +2 ship weapons allows Liberators to one-shot a Stalker's hit points. So if the Stalker gets EMP'd first, bam, one-shotting the Stalkers. The EMP +2 range lib combo is brutal. If those Stalkers blink in, get hit by a couple of EMPs across them, wow, the libs will destroy. And that is part of that fall-off point I was talking about, where ShowTime looks pretty good in the efficiency usually up to this point. But against BYUN, BYUN's being really careful. Nice, I like this. Just 2 Marines, 2 Marauders get left there to kill some probes. Gonna try and unload in the main. He has enough numbers to drop on top of the Zealots. So the Zealots will kill like a Marauder, a Marine, a couple of other units. Like you can see they're doing some good damage, but enough Bio and Medevac healing there. Scans as well, just in case there was DTs. Even drops an EMP to kill those Zealots. Nicely done. Stalkers in the middle of the map are deflecting. 7 probes in total go down. More Zealots coming in, but they're dying right now. 2-2 against 2-2. +3 attack on the way for Protoss, but he's forgotten +3 armor has ShowTime. And these trades have got to be amazing, right? Look at BYUN's trading. 3,000 resources more efficient. If you lose all these medevacs, that might turn around. But in the middle, oh, disruptors throw out. But already the disruptors get caught. Oh, he dives on ShowTime when he's not looking. BYUN realizing he was causing enough chaos. That being said, Zealots are in his base as well. The problem is ShowTime just lost the core. He just lost the disruptors, the core of his army. Not the cyber core, the core of his army. Like the damage dealers is what I'm talking about. But the Bio army gets into a bit of disarray. They get caught out in the middle. If those Stalkers could blink, they get 1, they get 2 medevacs. Unfortunately for ShowTime, he picks the empty medevacs, as he did not know which medevacs those units hopped inside. There's no visual indicator. You can usually tell which direction the units load into if you're watching very closely. But in the chaos of all that, that's near impossible to notice. 17 workers go down on the Terran side, but ShowTime's even lower. He's at 58 workers against 70 for Terran, behind 3,000. He doesn't know about this command center in the top left. Otherwise, he absolutely would have at least forced that to lift off. And now you see 2 more orbitals coming in. Oh, Caduceus reactor. Our favorite upgrade, guys. Plus 100% energy regen. And now, 3 libs building at a time, plus 2 ship weapons finishing. The medevac regen upgrade is massive. It means those 7 or 8 medevacs, or in this case only 4, he's building 4 more now to replace them, will be very hard to stop. Liberator's going to go down this right side. There's some decent Lib siege up angles on this map. It's not quite Oceanborn. For those who don't know, Oceanborn has some legitimately overpowered Liberator positions where ground units cannot defend it. Good focus fire for Showtime on that Zealot. Attention to detail, paying dividends. +3 armor and plasma shields is on the way for him as well. Liberator slides in the south side. And that Lib range is now done. Stalkers can deal with this, but it's a nuisance. Anytime you have to warp in Stalkers here, not a unit you necessarily want to make too many of. Stalker's going to go down there, get a few hits off. He needs to wait for more. 3 Stalkers should be able to take this out if he blinks them all in at once. You can see there are 2 shots to the Stalkers even without EMP. They were EMP'd. It probably could have killed all 3 of those Stalkers. Oh, watch out, watch out, watch out. Oh my lord, the double disruptor goes forward. Big Marauder hits, kills a few of his own Zealots, but that's worth it, I think. The Marauders are a more expensive unit. Oh! Wow, scary. Liberator on the left side as well. Stargate's on the way. He's going to make a Phoenix or a Void Ray to help deal with this. Zealot DT comes in. Going to start killing a few of these SCVs. This is super worth it. Planetary on its own does not do that much damage. Killing all the SCVs is massive. If you get to the base, that is huge. Stalkers deal with the Lib. The Planetary goes down there. 12 SCVs going down. Dude, Showtime is back in this game. Showtime is back in this game. Yes, you've got 5 orbitals. Yes, you can replace that command center. But BYUN needs to stay active on this map. He can't let himself get too passive because Showtime has remaxed out. He's got 331 upgrades. And BYUN, it's so important to be able to take down Showtime here. If he can't take down Showtime, one of our most recent qualifiers for the EWC, it's going to be really tough. Recall's coming in. He's not running away. Oh my lord. I don't know if he realized it was so few units recalling. That was a crazy choice to stand his ground. I mean, for me, in my mind, if I'm looking at that from BYUN's perspective, I'm thinking, you don't know what's recalling. The moment you see recall, you should run away. That should be your default response. BYUN's whole thing, though, much like Clem, is that his whole power, his overwhelming ability as a player, is to be aggressive when other players would run away. It's to run towards your opponent. It's, you know, it's Berserker style. Clem and BYUN, 2 birds of a feather. 2 guys whose whole thing is I'll fight a bear with my bare hands. Get it? Pun absolutely intended. Disruptor's going to go out there as well. It wasn't intended. Oh, he blinks into his own Disruptor. Oh, no. Oh, guys. It may be wintertime in Australia, but I know it's hot summer up there in Europe where Showtime is in Germany right now. And every man, as he gets older, has once in a time had a bit of an altercation with a lawn chair that looked like it might end up a bit worse for wear. Zealot DT, Stalker Disruptor coming forward. Showtime taking big damage to these Liberators. He blinks forward, though. Dude, the overwhelming Zealot numbers just might be it. But down here, losing so many probes. Oh god, and that Lib's still denying his mining on the top left. Showtime's getting ravaged. Zealots chasing and getting hammered by the Marauders. I think that was overall probably good trades for BYUN. He's still ahead 2,000 resources. The army versus army fight started great for BYUN, then went terribly for him. But then he got good economy damage behind it. So it's just one of these things you're like, damn, man, I don't know. We've got a Phoenix building, which is perfect. He needs this Phoenix to get over here. Stalkers will blink forward. Get rid of that Lib. Showtime's struggling to keep his economy up. This is the same way Gumiho came back from way behind and beat him on Oceanborn in the Home Story Cup finals. The famous Oceanborn map. It was the Liberator harass obstructing Showtime's income and Showtime taking too long to get it set back up. Stalkers do push back the drop. Showtime's on 57 workers. BYUN 67 income right now. Very similar between both sides. Where's the Phoenix, guys? Phoenix should absolutely be hunting these drops down. It's up here in the left. I think he's kind of lost track of it right now. He's going to leave it patrolling the left because he's had trouble with Libs over here. But I really think hunting this drop down in the bottom right is just as, if not more, valuable. Army's quite split right now for Showtime. He's going to attack the top left. It's an orbital. A Liberator on its own does not defend these SCVs. That is a juicy mineral line, undefended essentially. Stalkers will even blink forward and take care of that. More SCVs just rallied in. Oh, BYUN with a blunder. BYUN keeps on taking that base and leaving it undefended. He should be expanding to the right side of the map where his army is active. Yet for some reason, BYUN keeps expanding to the top left and leaving his economy hanging out. It's not just Showtime leaving things hanging out and getting into trouble for it. we are seeing the beginning of there's something about Mary. You know, Ben still is getting a bit of the Frank and Beans caught. So is BYUN with that economy on the top left hanging out for no reason. He should have had it tucked in on the right side, guys. Briefs, not boxes. As you get older, you'll understand. Liberators are taking damage. Stalker's running to the right side. Command Center's going to go float down on the gold base as well. He's going to go for that one. If he can get that orbital, that will be fantastic. Marauders and Ghosts coming down as well. He's going to get the Command Center. Let's go. Liberator's going to go down as well. Doesn't get the Command Center. Colossus runs forward and dies. Unfortunate mistake there for ShowTime. He's going to get flanked from the left side. SCV's coming into the fight. Disruptors will take out a few of those. ShowTime is diving decisively, and BYUN just not quite able to keep up right here. Leaving that... The both times he took the top left base were the crucial mistakes for BYUN. Twice he took the top left base when he should have been expanding to the right side. Big mistakes for him, and that is an issue. Going to pull the Zealots, the Stalkers, and the Disruptors back as well. And Marauders and Medevacs trying to hang out. Stalker, Zealot, Disruptor, let's go. Disruptor shots do go out there. 5 Disruptors, 12 Stalkers, 34 Zealots, 1 Phoenix. It's not a great army for ShowTime, but the economy and the supply is there. The longer this goes, the more BYUN is screwed. BYUN needs to go take a resounding fight right now. I like this defensive position for BYUN, though. Couple of libs overlapping. Three libs there. Combined with the bio, that's huge. ShowTime needs to get out of there, man. He's still trying to hang out on the front, which is crazy. BYUN's micro good, dodging most of those shots. ShowTime's going to lose the whole top left of his economy as well. Uh-oh. ShowTime was way ahead on supply, but the moment he loses all these bases, that advantage disappears. He's got to get more damage done right now if he really wants to push this advantage. Stalkers go after the libs. He gets rid of one of the libs. The other libs and bio coming over, but the planetary, it's going to go down. The libs aren't quite there. Using the mobility of this Protoss army, it's a low-tech army. It can't stand and fight against the bio lib, but oh, he's about to get sandwiched. BYUN's coming from the left. BYUN's coming from the left with the sandwich. ShowTime is trapped. No way home right now. ShowTime is going to need to show some absolutely brilliant maneuvers to get out of this one. He is cornered. He is trapped. The Disruptor's going down without firing. BYUN! Disruptor hits it from behind. The southern flanking Disruptor is not enough, though. He still loses his entire army. ShowTime, Zealot, Stalker gets caught between 2 chunks of bio, and Marauder hammers him into a fine, bloody blue Protoss mist. That was deadly. And now, the income, very similar between both sides. No way to rebuild all those Stalkers. That was such an expensive army. BYUN ripped BYUN's economy apart, but then he gets his entire army just destroyed. He needed to drag those fights out and use those Disruptors to hold him off. What a fantastic, action-packed game one between ShowTime and BYUN. But BYUN, the ace of Shopify Rebellion for a reason, he digs deep and he finds a way to get it done. All right, BYUN there barely gets away with that one. But man, that was a scary game, wasn't it? That was a very scary game. BYUN now in the top left of Golden Aura. Pretty good defensive map for ShowTime. Another one, though, that could play out very similar to the last one in terms of getting to the mid to late game and then lots of drops and mobility and all that sort of stuff. The bases are spread a bit further, though, on Golden Aura, which I think favors ShowTime style a little bit more, right? Because ShowTime, like later on, in the late game, I think range libs aren't as good on this map as they are on Alcyon, on Oceanborn, on smaller maps. So I think you could definitely use that as ShowTime. I think also you've got enough space. I think you can defend from Liberators on pretty much all of these bases with Stalkers. And definitely your first, 5 or 6 bases you can defend, which is the more important bases. Like, maybe one of these corner bases are a bit harder to defend, but I think BYUN probably wants to win in the early game, the mid game, the early late game. I don't think you want to be getting to late game. If you do, you're going to have to YOLO a bit more. You're going to have to, Doom drop the main and siege 6 libs on his ramp or something like that, you know? You're going to have to do some cool stuff. Who's the dude next to BYUN's command center? This is an old Blizzard developer. When you're playing and your game is, disconnected from Battle.net or you're offline for whatever reason or on an old game version, it can't load your clan tag picture. So for him, it would be the Shopify Rebellion logo normally here if you're playing live. Because this is a replay, it's loaded up this guy's name. I can't remember his name. I used to not know that was what it was. And I was like, man, why do so many people, they're part of clans that have this weird guy's face. Who is this guy? And then I found out it's a placeholder image that Battle.net basically throws in for you. So, yeah, he trolled everyone and made himself the default image, basically, of him just with this funny expression on his face. So, hats off to that guy. 3 racks coming up, command center as well. All right, so this is a 3 racks, a classic 3 racks. Now, I think my favorite story about BYUN and 3 racks is when Wardy ran his balance tournament, where he's like, guys, it's the Wardy TV Balanced Invitational. We're going to see how the new balance patch plays out before the changes are confirmed so we can all draw some interesting conclusions. The Cyclone's been changed completely, and it's going to be really interesting to see what that is going to change in the gameplay. And then BYUN proceeded to 3 racks every single game of the entire tournament, all the way to the finals, and didn't use a single thing that had changed in the entire patch. And I was like, and this is why you don't give pro gamers money when testing new things is on the line. You got to give them some sort of incentive to use the new units. Because guys like BYUN are like, yeah, easy money. I could use the new Cyclone or do other things, or I could just 3 racks these Protoss players who are like, oh, my sentry stats are slightly changed. Let's do a more sentry heavy build. Like, people are trying to use all these new things, and BYUN's just 3 racks killing people with his first stim push. I remember being like really excited to check the VODs. One morning I woke up, I was like, let's see what the changes are, make a list of the games that I'll download later when Wardy releases the replay pack to cover in my own way and do analysis of, and it was all just BYUN ruining games. And I was like, hats off to, I mean, he's a pro player. It's his job. I appreciate it. I'm not going to blame him. I'm just going to, it wasn't what me and the audience were hoping for. Let's put it that way. Third Nexus goes down nice and early. It's almost like Showtime's perfected this opening and has done it 400 times and is going to do it again. Is this, and then a third gas after? Is it just me, or does this look identical to the last game? Actually, it's not. It's not identical. He has not got as many Stalkers. He's going heavier sentries, which can force field this choke point. Does he know about the 3 racks, though? Oh, no. Oh, he's dead. He is so dead, guys. He has 2 gates. He's chronoing an Immortal. If he falls back to his natural, that's okay. The third base is definitely dead. He's about... No, he doesn't even see it with the observer. No, come on, please. Okay, he sees it. He sees it. He sees it. He has 3 seconds to prepare, guys. He's going to make another sentry. I think force field here and here is the best play. He's got an Immortal, 2 Stalkers, and 3 sentries. Oh, my lord. Force field. Good force fields. But he didn't fully trap him. Pull back, pull back. Don't chase too far. Good. Move in, move out. Move in, move out. Bait him into another stem. Dude, good micro by Showtime so far. So this is what sorry, guys. I was applying the expectation. If I was in Showtime's position, this third would be dead and it would be game over. Showtime's a better player than plebs like me, though. Oh, the Immortal, if he can get to the battery, he might be okay. No overcharge. He didn't save energy for overcharge. He used all of his energy on Chrono Boost. Oh, no. Oh, wait, did he already use it before? Oh, sorry, he actually used it in the previous wave. I didn't even realize he activated it too early in the previous wave. Because he had force fields, he should have held on to battery overcharge for the second wave. My bad on that. Bad casting, guys. Stalkers did blink back. Oh, the bio count's kind of low. The Stalkers are blinking away. He's got to blink to the left now, I think. Good blink back. The Marines are so low. Dude, good micro. Oh my god. He loses almost all of his Stalkers. He cleans up the Marines. Dude, if his third's alive... Dude, is he come out on top? He might come out on top. He's transferring workers to his third. BYUN sees those workers transfer. He's very aware of the fact that his third command center just started. He's only now starting his first medevacs, which is actually pretty early for a 3 racks. Dude, how did he hit his timing so fast? BYUN's 3 racks timings are vicious. Despite that, yes, he's got a giant army advantage, so he has to keep being aggressive. If he hits with his next 2 medevacs, I mean, what do you have in time to defend that? We've got 4 gateways building. Showtime is like, I frantically need units. Of course. BYUN's the #1 player in the world when it comes to spotting observers and scanning them down. Of course he sees that and shuts it down. If this Colossus gets out and you get like a bunch of zealots with charge, just 1 warping of charge zealots, I think Showtime holds and is ahead. That being said, BYUN's keeping up worker production. He will catch up on the workers eventually. Showtime is thinking about a 4th base right now because he's insane. Are you... If he builds a 4th right now, the man has the biggest cojones of anyone I've ever seen in all of StarCraft. He drops a 4th and a battery with an army outside his base that is monumental. My lord. Double drop in the main. Bunch of Marauders and Marines going towards the 4th base. He's got 2 Stalkers there. He actually manages to scare the drop away with just 2 Stalkers. He's got 2 Stalkers, a Colossus, an Immortal, and 2 Sentries. Showtime. This is such a scary moment, but dude, he's actually doing so well. We've got a 3rd orbital on the way. The 4th and 5th barracks are now building their add-ons. BYUN's going to run in here. 2nd Colossus is almost out. Force fields, not the best force fields. I think those are a bit of a waste. That makes this army way more vulnerable now, because if he gets stimmed on top, he's only got maybe... I think he's only got 2 force fields. I think he's got a third one in a second, though. Not quite ready yet, though. Zealot charges here. +1's almost finished. Second Colossus comes out. Yeah, you kill a gateway. I don't think ShowTime cares. ShowTime's made it past the scariest part of this game, and he's got a 4th base alive that BYUN... There's no part of BYUN that can possibly conceive of a 4th base being finished right now. He's not even checking for a reason. It's because only an insanely crazy European would ever have a 4th base up right now. But ShowTime's gonna jump on him, and BYUN's like, wait, what? How is your army so big that you can actually chase me home? Has to pick up a Widowmine and pull back. It's not game over. ShowTime survives. He has a 4th up. He's actually at a good spot, believe it or not. But man, dude, that was a wild game this has been. So we've lost a bunch of very valuable Protoss units. But the Terran was on less economy for a long time. Very delayed third because of that. No armory, just Vikings building. So it's 6 medevacs into Vikings. 2 are out, 3rd and 4th one building. The first ghosts are on the way. I don't think BYUN pulls the boys, but I think he does commit very hard to aggression. His Vikings appear to be looking for observers, but that might have just been a missed rally point. You can kind of see his rally points are still... Guys, this is BYUN's rally point right now. I just want to show... This may give something away to BYUN's mindset in this video game. Usually your rally point's either here or here. Occasionally here. BYUN is still rallying to his... This is clearly an accident at this point. Can we... BYUN, careful, bro. Fix that rally point, mate. Stalkers are running down this left side as well. We've got a second Forge and a second Robo on the way for ShowTime. He's going to round out his star. BYUN's pushing. Does find the pylon. ShowTime was going to build a gateway up there. Doesn't get a chance to. Stalkers, one of them goes down to the Widowmine, cleans it up. Please build an Observer. Prism's about to come out. I'd like to see Observer and then Disruptor transition. ShowTime builds a 5th. In the face of all of this, a 5th base at 9.5 minutes. My lord. What a beast of a player ShowTime is. I'd love to see, yeah, Zealot run by on the 3rd base would probably be a good idea. There's a few Widowmines that'll see it coming and slow it down, but oh! Marauder getting themselves a couple Stalkers. The battery overcharge gets activated so early. He's a bit early on the battery overcharge activates. I think one could definitely argue that. Prism's there, double disruptor production. Still no observers. ShowTime's so good at defending without observer production. It's crazy. Like having this level of map vision would feel so bad for me in one of my games, but ShowTime's just confident with it. 4th command center comes up, 3 more barracks now. BYUN following his standard build order. So 2nd starport goes down next. He'll probably build it here and then swap it onto the reactor. Might even lift the factory off first. Let's go to BYUN's vision. BYUN's kind of falling back in ceding map control to his opponent. There's that factory lift we were talking about, but he didn't start the starport yet, I don't think. Which is odd. There we go. He grabs the SCV that pops out of the command center, builds the starport.
Mineral field depleted.
All right, yeah, he's just building up to that next step. Fusion core. So 7th and 8th gas usually pairs up with a fusion core. I wouldn't be surprised to see that, but he's actually just building turrets right now.
Command center.
So he's kind of real defensive stats for BYUN. Very defensive stats. Still no fusion core. Interesting. Oh, and look at that, guys. Remember the 300 IQ intercept on the Prism. He gets it this time, realizing that left side is usually the more vulnerable. ShowTime intelligently goes there, but does get sniped. 13 gateways coming up, as well as a 3rd Robo. Still no observers? No, he's built 2 observers. I think one of them just got scanned. Or maybe he just scanned thinking there might be an observer there. But look, the observers are coming out. They're going to really help ShowTime now. Oh, just killed his own Zealot so he could start another Prism, guys. Does get 3 of his own Zealots with that shot. Oh, God. Oh, God. Terrible start to the fight here for ShowTime. He gets a big Disruptor shot, but he's losing every Colossus. All 3 Colossus. Oh, no. BYUN catching him as he was killing his own Zealots. This is such a bad start to the fight for ShowTime. I think BYUN might just get him. BYUN catching his Protoss opponent from Germany off guard. A few Disruptor shots land okay, but nothing massive until... Whoa, that one was a millisecond from connecting. It almost fired, but not quite. New Disruptor shot does need to go out, I believe, just to keep BYUN back. Vikings, 2 of those and a Marauder go down. There's more Zealots warping in. There are Zealots up top. They could come in, but of course, very focused on the frontal fight is ShowTime. Oh, losing those Colossus like that was a disaster for ShowTime. And now ship weapons, Lib Ranger on the way. Stalkers will blink forward. They should be taking out a few of these Vikings on the retreat. The Zealots chasing him down. Has he gone in a bit too deep as BYUN? It's 2-1 for ShowTime. 2-2 upgrades for BYUN. So BYUN's a little behind, a little ahead in the upgrades, but not massively so. Zealot run by gets wrecked by that bio. But it's over here where the bio is very damaged. The medevac goes down in the retreat. Disruptor shot allows ShowTime to back off as a single Marauder gets just catapulted out to the right side. And now BYUN sees that gold base and he's like, oh crap. Because he realizes if he lets that sit there, the Zealot regrowth rate is crazy. There's 15 gate Zealot right now. +3 attacks about to come in for ShowTime. +2 armor has just started for him. So it's 3-1 against 2-2. Identical upgrades in terms of total number. Lib range coming in. Identical number of upgrades, I should say. Identical is just a bad word to use there, to be fair. Disruptors going down. Ooh, 3 disruptors. This is a bad start to the fight for ShowTime. You got to protect your splash damage. The Zealot's going in, not getting the best fight. Second stim will have to be used soon. That will help him out when the bio army damages itself so much. Big disruptor shot. Gets a bunch of Marines and a Marauder. You can see there was no way for BYUN to dodge that at the last second. Prism goes down to the Vikings, though. Stalker's not getting nearly as many pickoffs as you'd like to see here, and it feels like BYUN is just bullying him away. Disruptor shot finds absolutely nothing. ShowTime has a bit of vision, but he does not have the splash damage. He's going to blink on the libs, take him out. I think that's a really good move. He gets 1, 2, 3, and 4. Fourth lib goes down. Zealots fall back. Great fight there for ShowTime. Regains control. He's got to control this area. If he loses this area, he's in big trouble. Observer was just barely on the edge of that scan. And it does go down. That gold base in the left side. It's now open. ShowTime's going to counterattack the reinforcement path. Ooh. He's got 1 sentry in the mix. I like that he's still mixing sentries in. Good pullback by BYUN. Disruptor, though. Easy pickings. Oh! Other Disruptor saves him. Nice. Nicely done. Double Liberator Siege. Fusion Core has now upgraded Lib range, but these guys siege closer than they have to. This is the one base that you can't defend from Libs very well, but he actually sieges them too close. And both Libs go down. Nice D for ShowTime. And the Disruptor gets a few Marines there. BYUN, his army, it's bigger in terms of army supply, but it feels like only part of it's here. Yeah, he's got a lot of bio lib at his rally point. 5th base is now coming up for BYUN. He needs that 5th base. He's going to split a quad drop off to the right side. 6th base is up for ShowTime over here. ShowTime's going for plasma shields. He doesn't have +3 armor yet. That's one thing he has to focus on. ShowTime has not seen this drop on the right. The Liberator in the bottom left is distracting him. He sees the drop in the main now. He sees the Doom drop going towards his main, but he doesn't know where the rest of BYUN's force is. Let's go back to everyone's camera. Stalkers defend the bottom left. 6th base looks like it's going to go down. And ShowTime realizes he tries to split his army because he knows that his bottom left is about to get hit. And it is going to get sniped. He's got the big drop in his main. A lot of his units have split up here. He will manage to get rid of some of this, but only the empty medevac goes down. And a wise evacuation from the bottom. ShowTime could no longer defend that area. It was untenable. This is the right way to do it. He could blink on those libs. Those libs are out in the open right now. This is a crazy move with these libs. What is BYUN doing? BYUN a bit awkward with his libs. Luckily, he does notice and fixes it, but crazy maneuver for him. Widowmines will get some nice shots on the Zealots. Triple drop goes back into the main base. These guys were way out of position. A few gateways will pay the price for that. 15 gateways are still up right now, but a few of those will fall. Disruptor's getting caught from behind. 3 Disruptor shots go out. They get 3 Marauders. Planetary does fall, which is nice for ShowTime, but if his Disruptors die, then I do not think it's worth it. I like the Disruptor recall. Stalker Zealot's actually fighting it out pretty well. Double drop does evacuate from the main, filled with 1.5 loads of units. We've got the Marines over here. Liberators are sieged up in all sorts of weird places. One of them actually catching a rallying Disruptor. Dude, this game is chaos. And ShowTime is actually back in the lead massively. I like this cannon positioning. These libs need to go start sieging these bases, man. Just forcing Stalkers there, forcing them back could be huge. That's a much better lib siege than what he did before. ShowTime's going to need to abandon mining on that base. He blinks forward right now. BYUN hasn't even unloaded his units. He's not watching. BYUN caught with his pants down. A full medevac falls. The bio and the ghost getting overrun. ShowTime showing hero-like decisiveness in a moment when his base gets sieged. He just basically dives forward, and it is the exact right call. It finds BYUN with his pants down, not expecting this move forward. A beautiful move. BYUN did not really have any map vision for that moment. He had no idea that army was coming across the map. He thought, hey, ShowTime's been sitting in his corner all game, and he was simply caught off guard. Liberator does siege up on this base. He's going to deny even more mining there of Mr. ShowTime, but ShowTime's taking the top base. He's got a full base mining there. He's still got a few minerals here as well. Unfortunately for him, he doesn't have a Stargate. A single Phoenix or Void Ray would be so helpful. This command center, so many SCVs in the open. He's going to go for the command center. Disruptors should be able to cover him quite easily. Disruptor does get a bunch of SCVs. The command center does fall. One more command center up top trying to make into a planetary, but BYUN's mining is now trivial. It's small. It's small. It's a small economy. And what you want is a big economy. Too big to fail. Right now, it's too small to impress. He's going to be all sorts of jokes about the size of BYUN's economy later on tonight if he doesn't find a way to make some magic happen. He's still got that fantastic army. Remember in the previous game, they had a fantastic army as well, right? He had a fantastic army, and he brought it back from a terrible economic position if he can clean the army up. 3 Marauders to the first Disruptor shoot. Stalkers go forward, take out the Libs. Great start to the fight for ShowTime, but he does unload his balls very quickly. He's only got 2 left. He's got to fall back, wait for them to recharge. And that shot was from so far away, it doesn't really cover him. His only ball that's loaded is so far back, it's only going to hit his own units. Oh my god, he kills like 6 of his own zealots, but he has so much stuff, and BYUN is so overstimmed. He knows that BYUN needs to fight to defend this base, but doesn't have the numbers to necessarily do it, and every stim is a problem. He never got Caduceus Reactor. He never got the Medevac energy upgrade. Yeah, you've cleaned up a lib down there, which means that base can return to mining. You could probably blink and at least clean up this lib. I'm not sure about the lib on the left. I think the pylon actually blocks you from deleting that. But you've got 2 mineral lines going. Even if you don't have a lot of gas mining right now, I don't know if ShowTime cares all that much, as he's more focused on just remaxing his zealots. He's got 6 disruptors, 22 stalkers, and he's coming in again for another fight. Medevac should be going down there. Indeed it does. Stalkers blinking forward. There's not a lot of healing left. The stalker, zealot going ham, disruptors going forward. He doesn't manage to connect with many of them, but finally that disruptor on the north just killed 6 marauders. It's so many missed shots, just forcing BYUN to micro. So many dodge shots, so many disruptors getting shot down. But in the tail end of it, that last disruptor shot did massive value. Stalkers looking to overwhelm. The Marauders just not having enough numbers, and ShowTime fights back. Bouncing back from the ropes. ShowTime doing a bit of the rope-a-dope there, looking like he was in trubs, but he fights back in a big way. And those range libs seem to be a big problem for him, the harassment. It always seems to be a point where ShowTime gets behind, fights back in, gets a lead, then range libs really disrupt him. But he actually looked really good there, and he gets another point on the board, which means Basilisk and ShowTime are only 1 game from sealing the deal. All right. Fighting for her team's life, for the glory of the Shopify Rebellion, for Canada and their great German overlord, Mr. Toby, and their German team leader, TLO as well, who's their like president of esports or whatever. It is Scarlett, representing Canada and all things holy. And she is going to go for a ridiculously fast Evo chamber up against Basilisk's Reynor, the Italian stallion in the bottom left side of the map. Now, I believe this game was played just before Reynor came back from Korea, and I think Scarlett might have just moved to China at the time, or she was over there at least. I'm not sure exactly what's going on. Long story short, I think they're both playing like Asian server, very low ping, I believe. I could be wrong on that. I'll clarify later in the comments if I get clarification on that. But either way, it should be a good match. Now, Scarlett is one of the dirtiest, cheesiest, trickiest players when it comes to ZVZ. Back in 2018, when SERRAL was at his most dominance, the only player who really gave SERRAL a run for his money in 2018, once he started dominating outside of Maru at the start of the year at WESG with those broken Ravens, it was Scarlett. She almost beat him pretty much every time she played him. They had banger series, and she had the trickiest, dirtiest builds. Oh, Reynor's going for a gold base on the third. Well, that definitely is not going to survive the +1 melee flood, because this is +1 melee before Ling Speed, keep in mind. Now, she's making this look like a 2-base gasless sort of build, like maybe it's a Roach push, you know, what's going on? So these Lings aren't going to be able to get in. We should see Ling Speed. Yeah, she started Ling Speed now. Ling Speed, third queen. She's up 2 drones as well, so she's actually not doing bad on workers. And you might be thinking, well, how is that? She only sacrifices 1 worker to build the Evo plus 75 minerals, and she delays the Ling Speed. So it's not too bad, combined with the gold mineral boost and skipping the third hatchery. So if she can now delay, like kill his third hatch with her Ling Flood, which she'll start building Lings after these 8 drones, and then take her own gold base, or even just a normal third base, I think she ends up quite ahead in this game. But he will have Banelings and she will not, and that is the big issue. She's making a second gas. Oh my god, she's going for the... Cats right now just got an absolute twitch in his pants. He cannot believe what's happening right now. He's like, wait, what? She's doing my build again. She's doing the Cats build. The macro hatch is later than the way Cats does it, but that also makes it harder to identify what's happening. So this just gives her massive production boost. So when she does take her third, she's going to be able to instantly drone it. She can also flood Lings like crazy, but she's supply blocked really badly on 44, so these Lings are massively delayed. I don't know if it matters because she kind of needed to wait for the upgrades to finish anyway, and she wants to have at least 20 Lings when she goes. Oh, the Overlord Scout Reynor goes in with a sneaky Overlord Scout from the right side. She realizes she's been spotted. The jig is up. He's seen the Evo Chamber and the lack of a lair. Now, to be fair, she could have a lair on the other base. He's making Carapace. He's making Banelings. Oh, no. Dude, people forget that Overlord Scout is legitimately good in ZVZ. If your opponent's doing tricky stuff, if you can sneak an Overlord in, it is one of the best plays. Reynor digging into his bag of tricks and bringing out an old classic. She's going Carapace into Roach Warren behind it. Oh, my lord, the Lings. Okay, the Banelings do take out a few Zerglings. She tries to split two off. They get surrounded. She's going to try and go for the main base now, but she doesn't have the same Ling count as him, and that's a problem. She needs more Zerglings. I think that supply block slowed down a bit of her lava. She could have had a bit more lava otherwise. She needs to counterattack, though. She cannot be pulling back defensive. She's trying to sneak Lings around the left side. She's hoping to lure Reynor into an aggressive stance, and then her Lings can hopefully get damage on the counter. But remember, he's got Banelings. He left on defense duty. He's left. No, he's bringing his Banelings forward. Oh, she's going to run around. She's luring those Banes. The Banes go back. I like the Banes go back. He realizes he can't leave this base bare open. +1 melee Lings are good, but she's got Roaches. She's got her Banes come back. Oh, he does. Reynor does. Scarlett Queens. Queens off the ramp. Oh, if she traps his Lings. Remember, he's 3 base. She's 2. Scarlett's in a huge problem right now. She's in so much problem. She is in so much problem right now. I'm speaking words badly, right? She's going to do a Roach Bane. Okay. She's going to do a 1-1 Roach Bane all in now because she just can't secure a third base. She's down 15 workers. Reynor's still droning. Now, there is Greed, and then there's Reynor Greed. Remember, Reynor Greed is a special form of Greed where he could just make army and be safe, but he's trying to make a 30 worker advantage right now. He knows she doesn't have an expansion. Him droning right now is the very definition of insanity. It is beyond the pale greed, but... Oh, Scarlett, watch out. There's Banes and Roaches coming. Okay, she pulls back. Oh, I like that. So she sees the Roaches pull back. She doesn't know about the Baneling on the high ground. This Baneling's like, please run up here. Please, Scarlett. You know you want to. Come say hello to the Acid Lord. Oh my gosh. She's moving out. Here comes the Ravagerling Bane timing. She kills an Overlord on the way forward. That Baneling is waiting for it. Reynor wants the big juicy. If she splits one Ling in front, it'll be good, but she's not going to. This Baneling could get a massive hit, even if he doesn't micro it. If he micros it, he could kill almost every single one. No, watch out! Oh, okay. I mean, they do have Carapace, so they don't die, but still a massive hit. A lot of those Zerglings hugely weakened. He's going to try and split the Lings in here now. Is Scarlett. Reynor tries to block his ramp, but he doesn't get up in there in time. He's got 4 more Roaches and a Queen in the main. A few Banelings do come back here for Reynor on the front. He's got a lot of Roach Bane. Remember, he's up 20 workers. If he survives, every second this goes by is terrible for Scarlett. She absolutely needs more damage. And, oh no, the Banelings get a big hit. Okay, there's too many Banelings on the defense. She can't bring her Banelings to bear without risking getting them all blown up by the Banelings. But wait. She might be able to kill all the Overlords. If she can kill all the Overlords, maybe she can make some magic happen. She's down 50 supply. I am right now huffing copium. I am huffing copium. I'm trying to believe in the power of Scarlett. Remember, every single map score matters. Even if she loses this map, yes, they lose this match, but map score matters for your overall season ranking, and it's actually often a deciding thing. So she will have another chance after this game, but it is looking like this game she's running out of options, and it looks like Basilisk should be coming out on top, which is not a huge surprise. They are the favorites, but some very exciting games to get here. Scarlett trying to make things as close as she can. It's just not being able to get that third up, and I think that supply block on 44, she's got to be kicking herself. I don't know if it massively changes the outcome of the game, but that first Ling wave has to hit a crisp, surprising timing, and Reynor seemed to manage things just right. Dude, her bile usage is pretty slick. That one not so good as it just landed on the minerals. But yeah, look at that. She's going to get the Overlord knowing that can't dodge. She's really getting as much value out of these Ravages as she can. She's making 3 more Ravages, realizing that's the one unit that she can micro because it's got like 5 range, you know, or 6 range, sorry. Almost the same movement speed as a Roach Speed Roach. Roach Speed is only just starting for Reynor. More Banelings making the Roaches, not quite in position. Lings are going to run in. Nice move here for Skull. Queen in the mineral line though. That Queen's going to buy some time. Can she get many worker kills? Oh my lord, she's getting chased down in the middle. The Roaches are like, hey, let's go. Let's go, mate. Let's go. Reynor knows he's got the advantage in the numbers. Lings managed to kill a gas in the main. Oh, probably not the best thing to target there. I feel like drones, that's got to be a misclick. Yeah, that's got to be a misclick, that one. Getting an extractor achieves nothing. She's down 60 supply. I mean, she's going to keep fighting her heart out, doing whatever creative plays she can. But Reynor looked rock solid here and did manage to defend. Nice biles there. Obviously, the third hatchery gives you a surprising amount of production, so you can reinforce more than they would expect, but 20 worker advantage is a 20 worker advantage. I mean, it's down to a 17 worker advantage now, but a 17 worker advantage is still pretty darn good. Especially with that gold base pumping it up. 1,000 minerals more a minute. Roach speed's about to kick in. +1 range. There's an argument that Reynor should have gone Carapace first, but remember, he opened up Carapace. So he actually had already gone that before making the choice to go +1 range. The reason being that because Scarlett has Carapace herself, the +1 range doesn't help the Roach vs. Zergling interaction at all for Reynor. But when he gets +2, it will make a big difference. Scarlett has to tap out there, and Reynor seals the deal for Basilisk. All right, Scarlett at the bottom left side of the map. It was a clever build. Supply block was not nice. Reynor with fantastic response either way. Not sure if he would have been caught out, but it would have been a bit more frantic for him. And we're going to see on Dynasty. Do we go gold base? I think she's going to take the gold base as per normal. And I think generally speaking, you want to take your gold base, and then you want to focus on Ravager Ling aggression is the way I understand this map. And that might be outdated, but normally it's basically get your gold up, take a third and a fourth, potentially, depending on how much minerals you have. But mostly you want to just get Ravager Ling, because whoever wins the Ravager Ling war can go over here and deny the other person's gold minerals without even committing into a big fight. So it's just a war to see who can deny the other person's gold minerals. Whoever wins that first big Ravager Ling clash usually wins the game. Now, obviously, there's room for trickery around that, where you know your opponent's going to do that. So, you know, there's a metagame of trying to counter them going Ravager Ling. If you can sneak Mutas out somehow, maybe give up the gold base is potentially a play if your opponent's a bit too slow on their Ravager Ling attack. We'll see how it goes. Gas pool for both sides. Mirrored openings. Completely mirrored build orders. Look at the APM. Scarlett spamming harder than Reynor for a second there. Wow. Yeah, her average. Wow. Scarlett's holding buttons down. Inflating her APM for no reason. She's like, yeah, I like to press buttons. Reynor, known as one of the faster players in the world, but his average is kind of slow when there's not much to happen in the early game. Interesting. No difference so far. Now we're going to see 20 Overlord or 21 Overlord. Looks like 21 Overlord for both sides. I think that's the optimal build already. 8 drones transferring for Reynor. Scarlett goes for a 7 drone transfer. I think I prefer 7 because you're going to build drones from this base and saturate it really quickly anyway. Oh, she transfers an 8th one. Never mind. She should change this rally point back to its own base. I think she's forgotten that. That's a mistake. Yeah, she's forgotten to change the rally point back. You don't want to keep rallying to the natural because it's going to get oversaturated. Then you're going to have to rally workers from down there back up here. So this just loses you a lot of mining time if she doesn't fix this. Link speed starts at almost identical timing. 3 workers on gas. 3 workers on gas. Roach Warren for Scarlett. I think Baneley Nest is a bad play. I really think straight Roach Warren is probably the best play in my opinion on this map. 3rd hatchery first for Reynor. Scarlett's floating minerals. Where's that 3rd base? There we go. Hello? 3rd base goes down a few seconds later. Ah, he's going to go for the early Carapace. Yeah, I think that's the best way. The way I normally like to play it is 3rd hatchery, Carapace, then Roach Warren. It's a little greedy delaying the Roach Warren that long, but you can always plug this ramp with queens. Baneling aggression is so rare on this map anyway, because roaches are, like I said, king, getting the Roach Ravager Zergling out. I'm curious, though. Scarlett looks like she's doing this off 25 drones. Okay, so he's going to go Carapace. Okay, so I don't know how this matches up. I've been wondering this. So she's going to rush with Ravager Ling, get over there. She's actually going to go all in. Oh, she's not even going to... She might send one Roach or Ravager to deny this, but I think she's just going to try and kill him. She's basically saying, yeah, he's probably going to be a bit greedy, take the Evo, drone up pretty hard, but he's massing Lings off just 29 workers, which is really nice. And oh, he sees it. Gives him about 5 seconds of earlier warning. Otherwise, it would have been only now that the Overlord sees it. Starts a Spine Crawler immediately on the gold base. But it's actually the ramp you have to worry about. He doesn't realize. See, she's beelining towards the gold to make him worry about that. And she's going to change direction. And she's going to run up towards the main. Oh, this is a tricky build. And she's going to trap him. Uh-oh, Reynor, get out of there. Run, Reynor. Run, run, roo. Run, run, roo. Those Zerglings are all over you. Yeah, you got to get out, dude. Uh-oh. This is a massive, massive attack. Roach Warren's on the way now for Reynor as well. There we go. It's just coming up 3/4 of the way done. Reynor's going to try and counterattack. He doesn't want to fight into the Roach Bane, that's for sure. She's going to run in. She can take some damage. You just don't want to lose any of these Roaches. Ooh, she already lost a Roach. That's rough. That's rough. Remember, she only built 5 of these. She just lost 20% of her Roaches, guys. She's now going for essentially a Ling Bane all-in with a few Roaches. She's only on 24 workers. Reynor's only on 26, though. He's really respected this. Oh, those banelings are looking for the big juicy. Not quite landing it. Uh-oh, Scarlett's got to be careful. Don't want to get surrounded. And remember, his carapace is about to kick in. Guys, she hasn't denied the mining yet. This is a disaster if she doesn't deny the mining. The Queens and the Spine are hanging on. I thought she'd get more Ravagers there, but she spent all her gas on banelings. She thought he'd kind of give this base up or come out and fight her. I feel like she has to go harder. She does get 2 drones there. Oh, back off, back off, back off. Scarlett. Oh my gosh, almost losing this. The big Ling fight in the middle, but the Baneling blows up on a single Zergling. Her Ling Bane Roach is going to fight over there, but Reynor split her units up and his carapace is now done. But these Roaches getting surrounded is bad for Reynor. Scarlett, can she get something done? Her Ravager up top biled another 2 workers there. Ling Bane Roach coming in. She's getting good surrounds, but here come the Lings for Reynor. And with carapace finished, his Lings should be dominating this fight. That being said, a lot of their damage was focused on the Roaches, not the Lings. He's able to win this fight, though. He's down 2 workers. That's the problem. He's down 2 workers. Her gold base is going. He's down another worker right now. She may have just built an advantage for herself, but remember, he's got carapace. So if he has to give up that gold base, he's not happy with that, right? He wants to keep the gold base alive. Scarlett's building another round of Roaches. She's going to prepare for round 2 of the all-in. She's just going highly aggressive on these gold base maps, trying to abuse the gold base, and Bile barely misses. Good pullback, but it's massive denials on the mining time either way, you know? And could actually move forward with that Ravager in hold position. Reynor's going to go across the map. Bile's coming down again. Reynor needs to go mine the blue minerals. You can't just keep losing all this mining time. This is really bad. Every time Scarlett does that, it's huge. Queen Snipe for Reynor on the counter attack. Here we go. Roach Ling coming in. Scarlett does not have the Evo upgrade. Remember, over time, she will be less efficient, but she's denied a ton of his mining. That Bile landing on 2 Roaches. Does it kill 1 or 2 Lings? Yes, but it lands on 2 Roaches, which is pretty good value. The Baneling for Scarlett stops the Lings from closing in, and that gives her time to reinforce. Oh, her Baneling goes down, though. Her Baneling goes down. The carapace is huge in Ling versus Ling battles. Zergling versus Zergling, it's a big difference maker, but more Roaches arrive. Oh no, Reynor needs to secure this gold base. He has to hold this area. This game is crazy, dude. This game is actually very, very close right now. The Ravager gets a hit off, but if you lose the Ravager, it ain't worth it. Ravager's going to go down. Bile does not land. The Roaches get surrounded. Scarlett's going to jump on top with her Lings, getting a huge surround. Her Roaches are getting hit, but her Lings should be able to come back in. She could potentially morph a Ravager to heal, and 1 new Ravager's arrived. And as that Ravager gets over there, Reynor's going to feel his heart sink because that means his mining is toasted. Oh, no, Scarlett. She does lose almost a Roach. A Roach almost goes down. She's trying to pull back right now. Lings and Queens on top of the ramp. She's going to try and defend on top of that ramp, see what she can do there. Oh, she pulled back a bit too far. She lets him up the ramp, but I think with more Lings coming in, she should be okay. At the same time, she's going to shove the front side. Ugh. She loses. That was her last Queen. She's got 1 Queen left. That's it. Oh, she's thinking about going for the throat. He's pulled off the gold minerals to this base, but he has so few miners. Doesn't even matter. The Banelings here, forcing his Lings to spread, getting whatever hits they can. They take out a few Zerglings. They hit the Banelings and the Roach. Scarlett, she's still fighting into an upgrade deficit for her. She's got plus nothing. He's got +1 carapace, but she has the numbers. And that Ravager pulling back on red hit points. The Morphing Ravager gets focused down by Reynor, but Scarlett, she's going to be able to get the win. I think some really clever builds by Scarlett. She continues to have some of the best understanding of cute, unique ZVZ timing attacks, especially on gold-based maps where Reynor plays a little bit more standard. Reynor did exactly the standard build that I considered being like, you know, that's the normal way to play. Poke around with some Zerglings, go carapace into Ravager Ling. But Scarlett, she had something special up her sleeve. 25 drone, a Roach aggression, get to the gold, deny the mining while your own gold is going. And that forces Reynor to fight earlier than he was ready. She added the Banelings behind it, and that was fantastic. She gets a point on the board, even though Basilisk do end up winning there 4-2. And sorry, I should have actually had the scoreboard 4-1 that whole time. It ends up being 4-2 there. Sorry, guys. Apologies for the scoreboard not being updated. Basilisk win the day either way, but at least Scarlett gets another point for her team. 1 for her and 1 for BYUN. Harstem letting the team down. Didn't even take a map off SERRAL. What a noob. Just kidding, guys. It's always a tough match. Vitality and Basilisk are far and ahead the best teams in the World Team League. And it's always a tough match when you come up against them. But shout out to Shopify Rebellion for a good performance. GG. Well played.